Hey everybody, welcome to Abrau Durso. So, second part of the video series that I'm doing that I've called From Grape to Glass, showing one of the wine and champagne producers here in southern Russia. So in the first part of the video, or part one, you saw one of the vineyards where the grapes are grown, and now we are at the region of Abrau Durso and the factory. So let's have a look around, see what we can find. So we've actually bought tickets for a wine and champagne tour kind of thing, go away flying thing. Sorry, I got distracted by something flying in my ear. Yes, we've bought tickets for that, and that's coming later. But just for now, we'll go and have a little wander down here. It's more than just a factory and a bunch of shops. It's really pretty, and you certainly can come here and spend all day mooching around. Good English word there, mooching. Lots of little cafes and restaurants and lots of little shops, but it is, as I've said, far more than that. And hopefully we'll show you that in a few moments. So this is the the business end, shall we say, the back end of the factory where the wine and champagne is made. Oh, I get easily distracted by that word peaver. It's very bad. And this is, I suppose you'd call it the high street, but it's not. It's a closed off area, so you can wander about quite freely without fear of getting run over. And obviously geared up really for visitors, so lots of food and drink for the kids, and play areas further down here that you're going to come and see soon. We've even got a chemist, which, if you know anything about Russia, you'll know that that's super common. Aptekas are everywhere. Russian pharmacy, they are everywhere. I've lost count of how many are in our village, and certainly in our nearest town, which is Anapa. Yeah, I don't know. Would I be exaggerating if I said there was 100? I don't think so. There are loads. So when your missus says she's got a headache, can't say that out here, because there's plenty of cures on every corner. So, Abrau Durso Cafe, very nice. And over there is a little eatery area. There's lots of different foods on offer there, from burgers to looks like avocados, hot dogs, all sorts of little bits and pieces up there, crepes, proper sit down restaurant there, and there's a few more as well. I'll just show you the visitor map. Doesn't mean anything to me, I'm afraid, purely because I can't read it. But if you can, there we go. So that's the region. As you can see, there's a big blue bit at the top, and it's actually built on the side of a lovely lake. It's really, really pretty here, and like I say, you can spend all day here, just coming, walking around, and you can walk all the way around the lake. And I know that they've recently built a new pathway, excuse me, all the way around the lake. So this is lots of little stalls, little gift stall ideas. Mainly closed, but it's a weekday and it's not really season yet, so it's kind of not busy, which is quite nice. But lots of little regional gifts that you can buy, key rings, purses, hats, various things. Beads, wooden spoons, interesting. Cheese boards, lots of wooden products. It's obviously a big, well, yeah, hang on, that's just dawned on me. Of course there's cheese boards. It's a wine and champagne region. Wine and cheese, of course. Ah, dear. Sometimes the old brain doesn't work as well as it used to. Not that it used to work well anyway, but ice cream. Oh. Ice cream out here in Russia is, well, I think, amazing. It's lovely. It's really, really strong flavours. It doesn't taste wishy-washy like back home, if you want to call it that, back in England. I find the ice creams mostly quite wishy-washy. A few little independents have got much stronger flavour ice cream, but generally it feels a little bit washed out. But here in Russia, I've got to say, every ice cream that I've had has been really lovely. Lots and lots of different flavours and super cheap. I think in our town, for example, 5 scoops in a cone is about 120 rubles. So about £1, just over. Anyhow, stop talking about ice cream and taking this view. So we've got what looks like a chateau almost up the end there. See if I can zoom in. So that looks really, really impressive from here. And as you can see, lots of boat trips. Maybe we'll do a boat trip. Who knows? Lots of boat trips. And that's the road down the side of Abrau Durso, and the church in the distance. And that's a nice walk. You can actually walk along all the way along the edge there, and then there's this new granite footpath that goes up over the hill and right the way around to the end. I'm unsure if it goes all the way around the lake, but I would be very surprised if it doesn't. But it's really, really pretty here. It's a nice place to come and have an ice cream. And certainly at lunchtime in the food area that I showed you a few minutes ago, people will gather there for the food, but also they'll be opening some bottles of wine and champagne, and sitting there enjoying the sunshine, having a glass or two. And again, I mention that because it's a little unusual for us in the UK. We tend to get served a glass and you can sit outside in a wine garden kind of thing. Whereas here they're a little bit more liberal, if that's the right word. And you can just buy a bottle, come with a couple of glasses, and a lot of people actually bring their own bottles as well and sit outside, crack a bottle open and just enjoy. Lots of love padlocks. This is something that most people will have seen before. Padlocks attached to fences with wishes. I know sometimes these are just securing love, you know, it's what couples do, padlock their love together. But sometimes they're for wishes, you know, to lock the wish in. Interesting. It's a thing in Europe as well. I think there's a few regions I've seen that are covered in padlocks. So lovely little park area. As usual, a little fountain for the kids because we're in quite a warm region down here. About 30 degrees today. So there's always little wet areas for the kids to play in. So if they get a bit hot, they can cool down. Got to be mindful of the time because we'll need to get back for our excursion, but certainly want to show you a bit more. So as you can see, little open air venue for music, and from what I understand there are lots of evening, I won't say concerts because that implies a big setup, but certainly open air music in the evenings, and knowing Russians I'm sure there's lots of dancing involved. Lots of little ice cream stalls, and like I say, we're at a perfect time here really for having a nose about, because it's a working day and it's just sort of pre-tourist season, so give it a month or so and this place will be packed. So it's quite nice to actually come down here today. Lots of little fishes swimming around, and pedal boats you can obviously hire. I can't see anything with an engine, so my interest is waning already. No engine, no interest. Go over the little bridge. Some nice outdoor swings with a bit of shade. You can sit there. If you've got a family member that's not too keen on going on the water, then they can sit there and enjoy the view while you go and get some exercise pedaling around. And I don't know if you can see, let me see if I can zoom in. Right in the middle of these boats, we've got a table and a little rack for your wine bottle and your glasses. How cool is that? So you can go and get absolutely hammered out on the water. Can't find your way back, have to get rescued. Oh, stuff dreams are made of. Not sure how the wife will feel about that suggestion. No, I lie. I'm absolutely sure how the wife will feel about that suggestion. No, bear, you're not allowed. So I quite fancy going on this little reproduction paddle. Will I call it a steamer? Yeah, why not? Reproduction paddle steamer. And obviously just takes you around the lake, I guess. Maybe stops in a couple of places. Gives you some nice commentary. Maybe a glass of champagne, I don't know. But there it is. Complete with phone number and price. So here's the lakeside restaurant with roof terrace. Gorgeous. If I wasn't filming, I'd probably be sat up there with a glass of water because I'm driving. Sad is that. Des. That's who I am. My name's Des. Designated driver. Floating duck houses, look. And people will come literally just to spend the day swimming in the lake with a barbecue, which is the Russian thing. They do love a barbecue. And you'll find people just sort of dotted all the way around the shoreline in various places with the family, with the kids, just enjoying the lake. And it is a beautiful region here. It's really pretty. Reminds me of Scotland in a way. Reminds me a little bit of Lake Lomond, with the main difference being the weather. So that's a brief look around as we head now back up towards the main entrance, where we can go and have our tour. So 1870, look at that, Abrau Durso, wine and food. Written in English for clowns like me that can't speak Russian. And that looks like it might have an engine, so that would definitely be milk. No, it's electric. Ah, so electric boats. A couple of electric motors on them. And as you can see, they're prepping that, giving it a nice clean. I guess the last occupants may have had too much champagne and couldn't find their sea legs, maybe. We go back over another little bridge.
Да, кого ж можно за что?
Take you for a little walk there through the pretty little paper flowers that have been hung up.
Ярик, ты так прошел такой.
Little cactus garden. And we'll head on over to the main building, I guess. Was that 150 years? Yeah. So some signage obviously put up to commemorate 150 years of Abrau, which would have been 4 years ago. And some old Soviet signs. Look, CCCP. So that may well be the hotel. But as I can't speak Russian or read Russian very well, although I can recognise the word for hotel and it's not there, so might be something else. That's the poppy end where the fizz goes in. So we're going to head on back to where we started the video now, and that's where we're going to go on our excursion. So I hope you've enjoyed having a little look at the little region here and the lake. It is, as I keep saying, really pretty. It's a lovely place to come. Get here nice and early in the morning, bring a picnic, little barbecue, and chill by the lake for a while, and then get your missus to drive, come and crack open a bottle. That is life's goal, I think. I bet they've got a view up there. Wow. There we go, get it in focus, Chris. Nice. Anyhow, thanks for watching. And off to make part 3, maybe part 4, we'll see. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please share the video. More people that see a side of Russia that you won't see in the mainstream media, the better. Because it's important, I think. But our misconceptions of Russia are squashed, and that we realise that there's more to Russia than snow and bears, gangsters, vodka, and horse and cart, which is the Western projection. So, see you in the next one.